So we're going to start a series going through just some basics of disability insurance coverage, helping you as physicians get a better understanding of how disability insurance can be a part of your income protection plan, of your total financial picture, and how to really safeguard your earning capacity and your lifestyle as you go throughout your career. And so, Nick, let's dive into kind of the real beginnings here, the basics today. Let's start with just the introduction to disability insurance. Would you just start by defining what disability insurance is and what its primary purpose is?
Yeah, well, disability insurance is financial planning 101. It's used to actually provide you protection for you and your family, so that if a sickness or injury were to occur during your working years, that you could still have an income that comes into your household. This income is tax free if it's set up properly, where you're paying the premiums yourself. And it usually pays you from the time that you get disabled until your retirement age of 65 or 67.
Excellent. And then, how does it differ from other types of insurance, like health insurance, life insurance? How is it different?
Well, this is the only insurance product that pays the insured, you, the person who's buying the policy. Health insurance pays your medical bills. Life insurance pays your beneficiaries. Disability insurance pays you. It helps to get you from point A to point B, which is retirement, should a sickness or injury come up during your working years, that prevents you from making the income that you worked so hard to earn.
All right. So, next question is just this: what are some of the potential consequences for a physician if they have a long-term disability?
Well, I guess that question could be answered in a question. I mean, what could you do for the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or longer without your income? Your income is your most valuable asset. Without your income, you can't pay your bills, your mortgage, you can't send your kids to school, you can't pay your cell phone bill, you can't eat. So without your income, nothing else is possible. So it's kind of a simple question to ask.
Yeah. And do you have just some examples that you can think of just some physicians that have incurred some long-term disabilities, and really the disability insurance has helped them maintain a quality of life, a standard of life, without having to really put themselves into financial hardship?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, doing this for 25 years now, we've seen a lot of doctors actually use the policies that we sold to them. And I've never heard any of them complain about having it, like they complained about paying for it when it started. When they have it, it really steps in to make sure that they're the backbone of their family, continue to move forward while they are dealing with their change of health or their own care that they need. So it provides them that cushion, that support, that income stream that's going to allow their family to continue to move forward. And also, what I've seen over the years is that almost every physician that is disabled in their occupation still has a plan to do something in earn income in some capacity, and they may not make as much income in this different venture that they choose to do to keep themselves busy. And these insurance policies, these absolute physician disability income products, they give them that base income protection from their disability policy, and also let them earn an income on top of that to help make up for a lot of the income that they're losing from when they were actually doing their medical specialty.
Okay, good. And then, why is it important that a physician secure disability insurance early in their career and not wait until they're down the road a ways?
We want to make sure when we have a disability policy that it's going to actually cover everything potentially that can go wrong with us physically, mentally. And the longer we wait, the more we start to break down naturally, and little things come up that we might not have ever thought could ever limit us. But you might start to develop back pain, as you get into your 40s. The insurance carriers are going to start to see that when you go to apply for coverage if you waited till your 40s to do it. And they're going to put limitations on the plan to protect themselves from somebody just waiting to buy a policy to when they actually need it. Buy it when you don't need it. If you don't need the coverage, that's when you need the coverage.
Okay. And then what are some common misconceptions about disability insurance that cause physicians to delay longer than they should?
Well, a lot of doctors have a hard time thinking that they're ever going to need disability insurance. A lot of people, almost every client we have, when they buy it and they're about to get the coverage and they're starting to think about how much coverage they need, and in their mind, they know they should have the most coverage that their income allows them. They always say to me, almost like they feel guilty, like, well, I'm buying this, but I don't ever really want to use it. Or then there are other people who say, I'm buying, who the people who complain about paying for it, they'll say, I'm paying for something that I know I'm never going to use. And statistically, that's just not true. You know, the Disability Awareness Foundation, there's an association for disability awareness. They'll tell you that almost 1 in 4 people will suffer a long-term disability that's greater than 90 days over the course of their career. And, letting a doctor who's used to being healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, most of them, um, showing them that they could one day be the patient is something hard to convince them of. But if they just take a step back and look at just the patients that they serve, disability is a real thing.
Okay. Here's a big one, and it kind of ties into something you and I talk about quite a bit. Can you explain the difference between true own occupation and any occupation disability insurance?
Well, there's different tiers of disability coverage that a physician will be presented over the course of their career. So there's what we have called true or absolute physician disability insurance. That's the top tier of what you should have. Then there's something in the middle that's called not engaged disability insurance. And then there's an any occupation disability insurance policy. This goes back to how the insurance contract defines total disability. Is your insurance contract going to pay you if you can't be a doctor and allow you to earn other income, or are they just going to pay you if you can't be a doctor but restrict you from earning other income? And then lastly, when you talk about any occupation plan, and these are the worst of them all, and these are usually your employer contracts, after a period of a couple years, the definition for total disability will say, we're going to pay you a disability income benefit provided we, the insurance company, feel that you are not capable of doing any reasonable occupation based on your education, training, or experience. So just having a policy that says any occupation is giving the insurance carrier a lot of power to determine your skill set and your capabilities during a time where maybe you don't agree and maybe that job's not available. So it's always best to stick with the tier 1 coverage, which is that true absolute physician disability coverage that we talk about all the time.
Excellent. And then let's talk about a couple of things where uh, a physician is considering purchasing disability insurance.
Mhm.
What are some key factors they need to be taking into consideration? If you were to name off top three things they need to be thinking through.
Well, at first I would say is make sure you put some time into this um, process. This is not something you should be doing, on the whim in between patients. Sit down, learn about it, take 15 minutes, speak with someone like myself who will tell you exactly what to have, what's out there, what to avoid. But when you're thinking about buying disability insurance, first you have to determine if you're a candidate for it. Are you somebody who needs your income? If you need your income, if your family needs your income, if you can't survive without your income, then you need disability insurance. I know that sounds kind of corny because everybody thinks they need their income, but there are some situations where, there's 2 or 3 doctors in the household and maybe one's only working part-time. But, in a situation where you need your income and you need disability insurance, then you need to think about really dive into your health history. Is there anything in your health history that's incomplete? Have you been to the doctor for back pain and never went back again because it resolved on its own? if you go to apply for insurance, the carrier is going to look at that and they're going to want to see a conclusion to that before they offer a policy, or or not. They might say, we're not going to give you coverage until you get this resolved, or they might put an exclusion on the policy. So make sure you are in tune with your recent health history and you're prepared to share that with the agent so that they can give you the best opportunity to get coverage. And then the last thing is, make sure you know what you earn for a living. It's funny, and most doctors don't, but make sure that you're willing to provide your full income scope. Explain to your agent how you're paid. Do you get a base salary? Are there bonus structures in there? And be prepared to share your tax returns and W-2 statements with the agent and the carrier, because that's going to be something that they need to review in order to provide you with coverage. And so going into that, knowing those things, um, prepares yourself for what's coming. And also be prepared to look at pricing. Pricing for the best disability insurance is not cheap. It wasn't cheap to become a doctor. Your time to become a doctor should not be undervalued. It's going to cost a nice luxury car payment to get the right type of disability insurance. So if you're looking in the right place, that should not scare you off. Most doctors, when they have the right coverage, they are also paying for this. It's just the price of doing business as a physician. So be prepared for that.
Excellent. And then if somebody wants to schedule a time to visit with you to learn more, where can they do that?
Do it at our website. There's a calendar for me specifically on there at www.insurancemd.com.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.